Hey guys, tonight we're going to work on the rest of the square I started earlier on my tornado, and then I'm going to work on, my Johnny Depp. There are some things that I do need to discuss this evening. I will go over my test results, but first I do want to address a comment that was made, or a couple of comments that were made. That I went over and looked at earlier today. Excuse the bag noise, I'm trying to get a drink. So, one of the things that was said to me was that when I mentioned my cars, yes, I do own a Corvette, and yes, I do own a Camaro. The Corvette is a 1999, the Camaro is a 2010. Both were bought used. And you can call it bragging if you want to. I don't. I take pride in what we own. Just a couple of years before myself and my husband met, he was homeless. He was living out of one of his cars. So, you know, we've come a long ways in the past few years. We've been married 8.5 years. We have come a long way in those 8.5 years. You know, right before I met him, or just as I first started talking to him, he bought his second Corvette. Situation surrounding the first one doesn't matter. It was used, and he only paid like $3,100 for the first one he bought. And then, you know, he had to choose, hey, do I keep my car or do I keep a place to live? So he gave up the car. Unfortunately, he ended up homeless anyway. He scrimped and saved, got himself a place to live, and he scrimped and saved, and he bought himself a second car. It was a 1989 C4. He paid $3,000 cash. It was a piece of crap. I'm not gonna lie. It was a piece of crap. The seats were tore up. It needed work. It needed a paint job. You know, me and him put money in, time, blood, sweat, and tears into that car. I helped him work on that car many a time. It wasn't beautiful by any means, but it was ours. It was his car. It was his baby. He loves Corvettes. That is his thing. That is not bragging. He worked hard to get that car. That is his right. The one we have now, we traded in that 1989 for, and we bought a 1999 that we paid payments on for 4 or 5 years. I can't remember, it might have been 3 years. But we bust our butts. We both work hard to have what we own. This is not bragging. This is us doing what we have to do to have what we want. This is us earning what we want to have. Anybody can do the same thing. It's not a matter of bragging. It's not a matter of us having money, because we don't. Trust me, we do not have money. We work hard to have the things that we do have. In 2014, well, let me go back a few more years. 2010, I was married to my first husband. I bought off the lot a brand new 2010 Transformers Edition Camaro. I worked 2 jobs to own that car. My ex was an over-the-road truck driver. I worked as an LPN, making probably somewhere between $12 to $13 an hour. I was making crap. I was working 2 jobs as a nurse to pay for that car. 2014, at the end of it, we got a divorce. I couldn't afford that car. I had to trade my baby in for a Nissan Murano because I could not afford the payment on my car. My sweet husband, knowing how much I missed that car, he paid cash and bought me a 1986 IROC Z, and we tried to fix it up. I could not, unfortunately, drive that IROC Z. The seats in it were too hard on my back. I love that car. We were gonna fix it up, make it a daily driver for me. It was too much on my back. We gave it to my stepson as a car. You know, out of the goodness of our hearts. He bought me a 2010 Camaro, used, our Carvana. We are making payments on it. I work daily to make payments on that car. It wasn't given to me. It wasn't won in a lottery. I don't have the money just laying around to make the payments. I have to work my tail off to get that money, to make that payment. He works his butt off to make the money to help me make the payment on that car. Nothing is given to us, ever. We are both working. I went through bankruptcy when we first met. You know, he actually paid for my bankruptcy. He sold his motorcycle to his father and gave me the money from the sale of the motorcycle so that I could pay to go through a bankruptcy. So to tell me that I'm bragging about what I own, don't. You don't know me. You don't know my situation. You don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through. Do not tell me I'm bragging about something I own. The response I gave you in my comment was nice. I'm not going to be nice now. If you don't like what I have, you don't like what I have to say, you don't like my videos, how they're shot, anything about my channel, feel free to unsubscribe. And that goes to anybody out there. You know, I am who I am. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to get monetized. I started this channel to try to get over some social anxiety I have and to work through my anxiety, you know, and just for fun, you know. This isn't about me making money off a channel. This isn't about anything other than me just trying to get on here and do something I love with my diamond painting and have fun with you guys. Nothing else. I don't care. If I've got one subscriber, fine, whatever. That would be my sister. She's the only one on here that actually knows anything about me and knows anything about my life. And even she doesn't know everything because I choose not to tell her everything to protect her from stuff that she doesn't need to know. So never ever presume to judge who I am, who you think I am, or anything else. If I'm tired, I'm cranky, I'm in pain, and I so choose to swear on my channel, that's my right, that's my choice, that's my decision to make, and I will do so. My channel is rated not for 18 and under. It says so right there in plain black and white. You don't like cuss words, unsubscribe. I choose not to make them. You know, there's a lot of cuss words I could use that I don't. If they slip out once in a while, it's a Freudian slip. I try to keep it mild. But when I'm in a lot of pain like I have been, I found out today I broke my pelvic bone. So, yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I am going to cuss. And, you know, the very first pain pill I was given was like taking a Tylenol. It did nothing for me. The second one I was given, I took one of and went into almost a panic attack because I was scared I was going to get what's called serotonin syndrome from it interacting with my psych meds. And then I was going to end up in a coma in the hospital because my husband wasn't here with me that night to make sure nothing happened to me. So, and I refused to take any more of it. I did get, finally today, I got it against, you know, really didn't want it, but I needed something for pain. I was put on hydrocodone because I do have a fractured pelvis. You know, so now I sit and wait to get referred to orthopedics. That's at a minimum 45 minutes from here, at a maximum almost 2 hours away from me. So that's going to be one hell of a damn drive I'm going to have to make to go see the orthopedic physician. So again, don't presume to judge me. Don't presume to know me. There's one person on here that truly knows who I am and truly knows anything about me. And that's my big sister, who I absolutely love and adore. So if you don't like my content, you don't like what I have to say when I'm on here, you don't like what I own, you can leave. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. I'm not in the mood tonight to play nice. I'm not in the mood for anything. I have a fractured pelvis. I still have to go to work. I still have to do a job. Excuse me for calling it not a real job, because my real job is nursing. That's my passion. That's my chosen field. You know, I've wanted to be a nurse since I was 5 years old. That is who I am. That is a real job to me. If you don't like that answer, I'm sorry. That again is what it is. You know, for my husband, a real job is what he does. He loves truck driving. You know, manual labor is manual labor. It is what it is. My job is caregiving. That's what I have a passion for. That's what I do. Sitting and rifling through boxes all day long and shredding paper, that's not a job to me. Anybody can do that. I went to school to be a nurse. I'm not doing a real job. I'm sorry. It's not a job to me. It's something a monkey could do. You know, I'm being paid well for it, yes, but I'm not happy. You know, I'm being overpaid for what I'm doing, is what's going on. So I don't consider it a real job now. I'm not allowed to lift anything right now. I'm not allowed to twist my leg. I have to stay off it as much as possible. I'm basically allowed to sit. So that is what it is. Hopefully I'll get good news from the orthopedist. They did see some swelling in my bone marrow, so I don't know what that's gonna turn out to be. I'm probably gonna have to have a CT scan done unless he sees something on the MRI when he looks at it himself that the radiologist didn't see. I don't know yet. It could just be from the injury. It could be something else. We don't know yet. So there's that on my mind. But that may or may not be everything I had to holler about and yell about tonight. I don't know. Hopefully it is. You've all seen Pharaoh. He's already made his appearance tonight. My phone did die last night, so I put up a second little video just of him laying on my table. I did set up my canvases this morning. Got them sectioned off. I'm kind of ticked off. I ran out of this red and gold tape. Kind of reminds me of the yellow brick road. This is my Oz in August, canvas. So I ended up having to finish it up with just some gold washi tape. But what I did is I did a random generator. I sectioned it all off, and then I marked each section 1 through 35 because I've got 35 sections. And I did a random number generator of 1 through 35, and it came up with a number 10. So I started this section here, and I think I did the letter M this morning. So I'm gonna work on this section right now, and if my battery doesn't die before I'm done, then I'm gonna randomly generate a section to work on my Johnny Depp canvas and work on that this evening before I go to bed. If it doesn't get too late, it's already after 8 o'clock, so I may not get to it tonight, maybe tomorrow. But just, you know, everybody just needs to learn to be nice, play nice, don't judge people. Let's just all be on here and have a good time. And I got a drill that's flipped over for some reason. I don't know how that happened. But I'm glad I just noticed that. Now it's fixed. Okay. So, I hope everybody had a good day today. Mine was all right. Aside from the, the fracture part, I did get justified in the pain. I found out, I was right. I did have something going on, which I knew. That wasn't a big surprise. I did go get to rub it in someone's face. Yes, there is something going on. No, I am not faking it. That was kind of fun. I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, going through boxes, breaking down old school records that need to be shredded. All the shredders are currently down. The small one I was using last week is still broke, of course, because I wore it out running so much paper through it. I probably bagged up 100+ bags of paper last week, old records and stuff from the school, way back from 2013. And then the 2 industrial shredders we have at work are currently not up and running, so there's really no place to put anything right now. We've just got too much backed up right now, so I'm going to take my sweet old time doing that until I find out what the orthopedic wants to do, what his recommendations are, if he's going to allow me to work or not, if I got to go to rehab or not. Probably end up doing physical therapy. May or may not have to have surgery depending on what the MRI actually showed. As far as severity goes, I don't know. And what his opinion is. I'm hoping to get in early next week to see him. I do feel bad. My poor husband has been staying up in the mornings or getting up early to take me to these appointments, even though I am able to drive. It is hard to get in and out of the Tahoe, but I have figured out the best way to do it so I don't put too much weight on my leg. Depending on whether it's on the driver's side or the passenger side, I figured out, the best ways to get in and out. I do have a cane that I keep in the back to help me walk from the back to the front after I put my walker up in the back of it. So That helps. So that's, left to be seen what's going to go on there. Plans for this weekend? I don't know. Probably not a whole lot. Don't have anything planned as of yet. Diamond painting, much as I can, I guess. Aggravate the cat, which is always fun. Horse laundry and house cleaning, stuff like that, what I can do as much as I can. Sit around and be bored. Really not much, because I can't, like I said, I can't get in and out of the cars right now. Can't twist my legs, so getting in and out of the cars is definitely out right now. Anybody that's ever gotten in and out of one of them, you know what I'm talking about. So there's that. That's usually really what all we do is, on the weekends we usually just take one of the cars out and go for a drive somewhere, and maybe go for a hike. And it's been so hot here in Arkansas today. The temperature I think was 101, and the heat index here where I live was 109, and the next town over was 113. That's where I had to go for my doctor's appointment. And it's just crazy, ridiculous. You can't breathe once you step outside. It's so hot. There's no wind, there's no coolness, there's just no nothing. It's just stiflingly hot. Then we got that Sahara dust, or Sahara whatever, sand stuff or whatever coming through and coming around. That doesn't help any. So I feel bad for anybody that has breathing problems. I'm having to put up with that. My best thoughts are with you, because it's not fun when you feel like you can't breathe. I unfortunately get that way when I have my anxiety attacks, my panic attacks. I feel like I can't breathe, and I really don't like it. One of my best friends died. It's been a few years now. It's been, goodness, I don't even remember now how many years. It's been, I don't know, 5 years or better. But she was just a year older than me, and she woke up and told her husband or whatever that she couldn't breathe, and she ended up dying, and they never did determine what she died from. So when I wake up having an anxiety attack and I can't move and I feel like I can't breathe, she's the first thing that goes through my mind, and I start thinking about that, and that just, of course, makes it worse. It's the last thing I need to do is worry about how she woke up saying she couldn't breathe and she ended up dying. That's really not what I need to think about at that time. But the problem is, when I do have those panic attacks, I'm not able to move. I end up in a paralyzed state. And so at that point, not only can I not get up and come out and get my medicine to calm me down, but I can't wake my husband up to tell him to come out and get me a pill, because I just can't move. But I have learned, and of course, that's when he's home and he's not at work. But I have learned, though, with therapy, because I have an amazing therapist, how to calm myself down, that I'm going to be okay, to stop making things worse, stop talking, negatively, start thinking positively. Not that I can actually talk, it's just random thoughts in my head, but I start trying to think positive that, hey, you're going to be okay. It's just a panic attack. It is going to pass. You're going to be fine. You are breathing. Your heart's still beating. It may be racing, but it is still beating. Everything's good. And I can usually talk myself down from one now. If Gary's home, it's a little better now because he's a comfort to me. So knowing he's there beside of me, even if I can't reach out and touch him, I know he's there, and I know he's there for me. So that helps. And once I get myself calmed down enough that I can actually move my hand, all I have to do is just reach over there and just put my hand on him. And I immediately calm down. So that's always nice. He's just real soothing to me. He's just, you know, and we fight and we have arguments and this stupid stuff, you know. But we've been married 8.5 years. I'm his third wife. He's my second husband. You know, we're 52 and 53. We're old cantankerous. We're stubborn. You know, we are who we are. We love each other, and you know, that's all that matters. Neither one of us are going anywhere. No, you know, he threatens to. Neither one of us going anywhere. We love each other too much. So, he's just such a good stepdad to my kids. Even though they're grown, you know, I told my daughter, if and when she decides to marry her fiance, if she wants somebody to walk her down the aisle, that she can ask him. I don't think that he would say no. So, you know, the sperm donor, her first marriage, just sat there and did nothing. Didn't walk her down the aisle or anything, you know, which is kind of crappy of him, I thought. I was about to get up and do it myself, and I was on a knee scooter with a broken foot. But I really just chose not to because I really didn't like the guy. So that might have been his thinking, I don't know, but he's just a useless piece of crap. So that is what it is. But I'm pretty sure Gary would probably walk her down the aisle. Right now, she's driving my Murano. I told her I'd give it to her as a wedding present. I still got the title so that she doesn't have to worry about paying the taxes on it every year, and I pay the insurance on it. She just drives it. And the air conditioner's gone. I didn't think it's the AC compressor's gone in it. And he said that you know, she went to Midas and they quoted her $1,700 or something for parts and labor. He took a look at it and he looked it up, and it's going to be just under $300 for the part. And to work on that car, to do anything basically with that vehicle, you have to take the whole front end off to get to anything. So he told her if she would buy the parts, to go ahead and get the AC compressor and go ahead and get an alternator for it. He would change out the alternator and change out the AC compressor for her, and he'll do it for free. And it's a lot of work. I mean, it's not easy to work on that thing. It's a mess. It's a hard vehicle to work on. But, you know, he's real good about it. And he paid for new tires on it. He's bought a new radiator for it a couple years ago. You know, I mean, I know it's still my name. Legally, it's still my vehicle, but, you know, he just takes care of it. He takes real good care of her. If she needs anything, he goes and looks at it for her. If she needs a battery or her car won't start, and he gets right up and goes over and checks on her. So he's a real good stepdad to her. My other child lives up in Washington, so they don't get along quite so well, but they're getting better. They've had their issues and did not see eye to eye at first, but Autumn has turned her life around and made a big change in more ways than one. And on Gary's side of things, he's pretty proud of her, and which makes me a happy mom. So, I don't know. That's always a good thing. But can't have everything. You get remarried and you have 2 grown children. It is what it is. My stepkids live in North Carolina, so, you know. I have an okay relationship, a pretty good relationship, I guess, with my stepson. My stepdaughter, that's another story. She doesn't even really have a good relationship, unfortunately, with her dad because of her mother. I won't go down fighting saying it's her mother's fault. I don't care what anybody says. Just things I've heard being said, and it's things that I've heard come directly from her mother's mouth, or the kid's mother's mouth, so it can't be denied. And I know darn well that's why. She doesn't have such a good relationship with her dad. Although it's getting a little better once she gets moved out and gets on her own, which hopefully will be soon. Maybe it'll get even better than it is now. But